originally it was two Adidas brothers, right?
Yeah.
And then one of them went their own way to create Puma, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Puma is started by Adidas.
Yeah, the Adidas brothers, they were brothers. And then they had a falling out. And then one of them separated and started Puma.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that I know.
From the same family.
I don't know the Nike guy story. I don't know anybody else's.
You watched the movie?
No, I'm reading his book.
Did you know?
What?
Did you know for his logo,
I like
he
hearing
asked a random, I think it was a university student.
the Nike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A random university student
Yeah.
to make a logo for him.
I haven't gotten there yet.
And she didn't know, fam.
Yeah.
She didn't know it was going to be the greatest logo, probably. The most recognizable logo of all time. She gave it to him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he paid for like her prom dress or something.
Yeah.
No, he gave her a bill.
It was a bill or
Yeah,
something, right?
$100.
And then he ran off with it. Now it's everywhere in the world. I wonder how she feels. I would love to see her interview.
I haven't gotten
She's still
there.
around?
I'm still reading on Blue Ribbon. I haven't gotten to that level yet.
Pabst Blue Ribbon?
Huh?
Never mind. Let's continue. Hey, let's get this show on the road, guys. We're here.
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
You know what? Let's not get into that.
Some sucker John Nemo?
No, I mean it's.
You see, I looked at the camera.
Yeah.
That's
It's not even your camera, fam.
Huh? Look at the wide camera.
Oh, okay. I thought you were looking at mine. I'm like, what are you doing?
You thought you were looking at
Yeah,
that
I'm like,
there?
what are you
That's
doing,
crazy,
bro?
dog. Don't kill. All right.
The wide's right there.
I'm like, yo, you guys do your thing.
Without any more further ado, we are back. The boys are back. Coffee Break Podcast. Actually, what's your line again? Look at this.
Oh, look at this.
Look at this.
I honestly completely forgot what's
That's what I'm saying. Yo, we got to trademark that now. I'm not going to lie. We got to get a shirt or something that says, look at this with the arm, the Randy Orton arms, you know?
I gotta fight Randy Orton for that.
Yeah, we got to
I don't think he has that trademark. Do you
Huh?
think he would have?
still be doing
WWE probably
still
has
be
it.
He
doing
could have a move trademark. Like,
Yeah.
Nobody can do that.
WWE probably has that type of something like that.
You know
WWE
this? You know
makes
this?
money.
Yeah.
You remember this from Jay-Z?
Yeah.
That was started by a wrestler in WCW, and he sued Jay-Z for that,
Did he win?
just for doing this. No, he lost. But he sued
Now
him.
Jay-Z owns The Rock, or they?
They settled.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so he gave him money.
Yeah.
So he didn't lose.
I mean, he still does this. Jay-Z.
He got the money he wanted from.
I guess so.
People call that thing John Cena, but it's Tony Ayo.
Yeah, he shouted out. He shouts him out every time he sees.
Yeah.
Every time they ask him about it. So that's kind of good. But anyways, guys, it's Saturday. It's a beautiful day outside,
100%.
and actually today it's a very refreshing episode today because we're gonna try something new. We're gonna get into what you guys want most from us, and we're gonna get into some different type of Reddit questions today. All right, I hope you guys are interested. So I'm just gonna list off some of the subreddit names that we're gonna be going into and answering some questions from. Obviously, we have our bread and butter. Am I the asshole? You know, we're gonna go through there. We also now have Ask Men. We're gonna be hearing from some questions that people have to ask men, and we're gonna be giving our 2 cents about.
Yeah, I love that you said that, and he's wearing Trust Black Women hat because we trust Black women as well.
Oh, we're very inclusive here, man. We're very inclusive.
Yeah.
Here.
100%, bro.
We never discriminate, guys. And then after that, we're gonna be jumping into today I fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna be hearing some L's, okay? So just gather yourselves a little bit, and then we're gonna finally top it off with relationship advice.
Okay.
So we'll see how this goes. But before we get into the questions, I want us to start with a nice little icebreaker. Just to wake up your minds. It's still early in the morning. I understand this guy still got the crust in his eyes. I can see it, bro.
This is not my time to be up, fam.
Yeah,
if I had the choice, I'd be up like
you're like a midday, almost early evening type of guy.
100%.
That's when your battery gets charged.
100%.
I see. How about you? You're every time of day kind of guy?
I am to a certain extent. I'm up during this time of day every day because I got to get to the bread. But I worked until 11 last night.
Damn.
I'm up today. I got work after this at 4 to midnight.
This guy's on the move,
so
man.
get into it.
Never
Respect.
sleeps. Grind. Work, coffee break, work. Who else?
You got to make this happen. You got to go for yourself.
Who else, bro? Who else?
I'm gonna get a snippet of all these looks that you're doing. And I'm gonna
turning around over there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look there every time he does this.
Nah, I learned from watching other YouTubers. You got to play with the camera. You got to make sure they included in
I
what
got
you guys are doing. You
I
know.
got you. I understand you.
So
I understand you.
When I
keep,
say
keep
you're-
doing what you're doing. Just reference your camera, not mine. You feel me?
you think
You're reference.
He's going all the way to the
Yeah,
side over there.
my guy's doing this.
I don't know which camera is the why. So I'm just looking
Yeah.
at both.
I got you, brother. I
Yeah.
got you.
Nah, but like, we're gonna go into 2 truths and a lie.
All right.
So I need you guys both to come up with 2 things that are true about you and a lie, but make it difficult so that we don't know which is the lie, and we would have, or 2 of us would have to choose which one is the lie. So, without further ado, who wants to give us a start?
Why am I first?
Because you came up with your recently. I want to hear what you. But
I
you
can
came
go
up
first.
with
By popular demand,
I can go first. I
my,
got you.
my man Jama, hit us with
ready?
some facts about yourself.
So before we start, are we
Yeah.
allowed to question after all 3 are done? Are we questioning him or?
You're gonna ask.
I mean, I guess we can talk amongst ourselves, right? But
Oh, we're not allowed to question him. We're just
what do you mean by question, though?
like, are we allowed to dissect each story, or how is it gonna go?
like you basically saying, tell me about your truth. If it's
Yeah, so we can ask questions per story. Is that
we'll see how it goes.
I no, I would say let's not do because we don't want to give up the lie, you know,
Mhm.
by
He means after the fact.
after all 3 are read, we just ask questions per.
No
whenever we
question.
have questions.
I'm not gonna answer anything until you guys
make our choice.
make your choice.
Okay, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Wild though.
That's how it goes.
That's the whole
how that's how the
idea.
game
We have to
goes.
guess.
I can't give you anything.
That's what I'm
to
saying.
be-
No hints. No hints.
After
no
the
hints.
fact, if you have any questions, like I can't believe you did that.
No,
Like,
but
yeah.
you explain why
explaining
this,
it.
this happened.
No.
No. No hints.
That's
just 2.
crazy.
Just a
That's how
sentence.
you play
A
this game,
sentence.
That's
brother.
A
not.
sentence.
I watched Jimmy Fallon. They explain each
Because-
one.
It's different though, because he probably is thinking about a whole segment and wants people to talk
Nigga,
more.
fuck Jimmy Fallon. This
That's
is the
his fault.
Coffee Break podcast, guys.
100%.
Let's do this.
Okay, let me
Come
go,
on,
let me
2
go.
truths and a lie. We know this guy. Don't worry. We're
Ready?
doing this.
You guys ready?
Makes the dream work, guy.
Okay, the first one.
All right.
I almost moved to England before COVID. Okay. 2. I was engaged when I was 19.
Okay.
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 I was offered an intern position at the Raptors to be on the social media team.
So everything this guy just said was a flex on me. Like, I have to change all my lies.
So,
Why you flexing on me?
No, no.
Like, come on, man.
so which do you guys think is the lie?
What the fuck?
You want me to reread them?
again?
Yeah, read them again.
I almost moved to England before COVID.
Okay.
I was engaged when I was 19. I was offered an intern position at Raptors to be on the social media team.
The last one I feel like it's true. Because he was hustling internships and shit like that. So he was the first person I ever heard actually had an internship that I know. I don't know if it was had
people you don't know have internships.
Well, honestly, did you actually, like, of the men of who'd you hear had an internship other
Nobody.
than him?
Nobody.
Is it really?
Yeah, I didn't know anybody like of our age group personally that was interning anywhere.
Gotcha. Okay, interesting.
So you
Ah,
were-
this is tough, yo. I
he-
thought I knew this guy a lot. He's just told me he's a completely different nigga now. He just came with some completely different facts. God damn.
So either the
I don't
England
think you. Okay, I could see you having the opportunity to move to England and considering it as being real and valid. I don't know about the engagement. That's the one I'm iffy about. How about you?
you said 19. You're engaged.
Wait, 19, fresh out of high school?
First, second year uni, first year uni.
What's happening in Warsami's life back then?
I was in accounting.
That's it.
I think that's the highlight of my night because that's the one I knew accounting wasn't for me.
Oh, I thought you brought your like accountants on some deviant shit.
No. That's the second year.
I don't know, man. I would say either because yeah, I can see this guy getting invited to the Raptors.
I used to take pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
Genre Productions.
Yeah. You was sweeping the streets of Instagram at one point. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
Maybe.
So what do you think? So we're okay with the last one being true, right?
Yeah, true.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
I'm dead set on that too. So what do you think? It's the actually let me get a read on this guy real
That's
quick.
what I'm to give it a look at him.
Hold on.
But he's a good stone face. That's the why.
Why you looking at?
I gotta throw him off so he throws me off too. You know.
What do you think it is?
I'm gonna say the engagement, man.
You say the engagement.
That's the lie.
That's the lie.
Okay.
Are we locking that in?
Engagement and sorry, what was the first one again?
I
moving to
almost
England?
moved to England.
Yeah.
Before COVID.
Before COVID.
Before COVID. So
Yeah.
it doesn't even give an age range. It just says before COVID. So it could be
I could say 21, 22. That's how old I was in COVID. No, it was 22 to 23.
23, yeah.
oh, so the year before COVID, like 2019.
Before COVID, yeah.
Okay, so I thought you meant like just
No.
just throw us off anytime before
I was
COVID.
all right, 23.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you specified.
So does that make it more valid?
I don't know though. Let's lock in your engagement
Are
one.
you sure?
Do you have a valid reason of why you think he wasn't engaged?
I'm throwing it up there. I'm not gonna lie. Like this guy threw me.
The ugly you? Is that what we're going with?
He's pretty ugly, but you know.
The ugly
I'm
you?
just saying.
Your sister's not here to say ooh to you.
Yeah, you're not getting showered of compliments.
I already know.
No, but I'm just saying, like, he just threw me for a loop, so I'm just kind of throwing that in the air. We probably would have heard something about that.
But we didn't hear about England neither.
Yeah, but it didn't happen.
Huh?
It didn't happen.
No, but
That's true.
we're not one of the Izzy guys. So we those two guys would have heard
We're
something.
not from
So
Izzy.
we would have to make a call out to say, hey, like, did he?
I actually
was
don't
he-
talk about relationships with people though.
No, but if you were going to move to England,
Like one of my closest friends found out 1 year into my relationship that I was dating somebody.
And
No, but if you
you're
were-
proud of that,
No, I don't really talk about relationships.
it's not good, man.
It doesn't matter.
You gotta
especially
come on,
after,
man.
yo, I knew you for 20 years. We haven't had.
So what's all this about him
all that,
having
huh?
like, you know,
Tell you
like
everything
open
about
up,
my
be more open?
I guys tell you everything about my life though.
Except that?
Where we were 19 or 20.
We're not here to judge, man. We're here to figure out who he is.
When
All
I was
right.
19?
So
No, but I'm saying if we would have called, they would have probably know if he was going to move to England. That's why I wasn't talking about the engagement one.
I don't know, man. I'm just throwing something in the air right now.
All right, so let's go engagement.
All right, we're going engagement.
The
Final answer?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
You guys are wrong.
England
Ooh,
one, right?
It was the England one.
Yeah.
fuck! You getting engaged?
Who are you trying to get engaged to?
No, don't
It was
say.
one-
Don't
it was-
ask who. Come on,
It was
we're on live.
it was one of my first relationships where it was like, you know, when the honeymoon stage is so amazing, and you think your life is
Strange.
gonna be,
You're a strange person,
and
man.
then I was like, yo, let me talk to you dudes.
Oh, you actually talked to her parents?
Yeah.
And what did her parents say?
Listen, guys, we're not gonna get too. We're on camera, all right? Let's not expose my man on air, all
Come on.
right? This guy's he's prospering
gotta
for the
tell you- that's all I
future.
gotta tell you,
Inshallah,
bro.
what happened
It's
happened.
us in the coffee break. Come
Stop
on.
looking at the camera,
Yeah,
bro.
come on, man.
You're the reason people are gonna unsubscribe, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Stop trying to bring us down today, man. Like, come on, we're good vibes, good
Guys, hide the
vibes.
camera.
I'm trying to find you a new girl.
We're not trying to open up old wounds, man. We're trying to, move
That's what I'm
on,
saying,
prosper.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
This guy's a bachelor now. We're not talking about old news.
That's what I'm saying.
MashaAllah, though, I'm actually proud of you. That's a big commitment in life. I can't believe you got to that.
I
at
didn't
19.
understand the commitment at that.
No, but I mean, even just coming to that decision
When I
for
was-
anyone at any point is like, wow, that's commendable.
Appreciate it, brother.
Shout out to you, man.
Thank you.
All right,
Your turn.
my turn.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, now I have to should I reconsider?
No, just pick the same ones.
I picked some. All right, here we go. You know what?
Off top, too. You're not even going to read them.
I know myself.
All right.
know
Now we
myself.
can look at his face.
If he stutters, that's the wrong one.
Yeah.
Tell you right now.
All right, so the first one is the only award I've ever won in my life was for skipping, like jumping rope. That's the first one.
Yeah, if that's right, I'm never
Second,
forget that.
second, I'm a low-key avid Bollywood fan.
I believe that.
I fuck with Bollywood.
I
Believe that?
Yeah.
And the third one is I can't whistle.
Ask me that one. Off the bat, it's the whistle one.
Why do you say that?
Because Bollywood is too much of a real, like, to him.
Somalis watch Bollywood.
Yeah, it's too real. The first one was, what was the first one again?
The only award I've ever won in my life until now is for skipping.
That's
jumping
too
rope.
ridiculous for you to make up. Like, nobody would make
You
that shit up.
guess he's aerodynamic. Guess he was skipping.
So, and I'm sure probably in elementary school, he probably did that shit and was great at it at one point.
Could be.
Whistling, it's too random to not know how to do.
Could be.
Okay, so
You can't whistle? I can't whistle either. Do that one more
So
time.
that's the most
Do that one
random
more time
one?
for the candle? For the camera?
pause. Come on now.
Chill.
chill,
We're not.
chill.
Why are we just exposing each other today, guys? We're here. The two truths and a lie might have been the worst idea ever, guys.
I call it in the whistle one, 100%.
You called the whistle one?
What do you think?
Wow, locking in already?
Lock it in.
Whoa.
No question, bro.
So you said skipping award.
Mhm.
You said, what was the second one?
Bollywood fan.
Bollywood fan. Definitely, we agree on that one.
Are you guys
said-
Bollywood fans?
No.
Oh.
Well, I know Somalis are. Like, I've been around people that sing
Okay.
songs. And stuff.
You have like female in the house.
Way to
that
stereotype
probably
me, but
watch
go
it.
ahead.
No, Somalis watch Bollywood
Yeah, okay.
films.
Yeah.
That's- And exactly, and you have females in the house that probably watch it as well. And you said the whistling one, right?
Off the bat. Don't think about it too much. Because the more you think about it, the more you take yourself out of it.
He's trying to read me right now.
Yeah.
The leg shake's nervous. You see that nervous stick?
That's how he normally does it.
I'm nervous, man. Heart's beating.
He's nervous in your presence?
Or not.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you.
All right, lock it in. Lock it in.
Lock it in?
Lock it in.
You guys are right.
I told you.
I can whistle. Come on.
Off top, he called it. Off top.
I like that he said that because that means he low-key rates me.
Yeah.
I can't not do something like that though. But then again, you expose yourself for not being able to whistle, so I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
There's a lot I can do.
It's very commonplace,
man with
you know?
limits.
Okay.
But many capabilities.
Yeah, right back to that camera.
Yo, you're looking at my camera, bro.
I'm looking at that camera right there.
Why? Can I just ask you before we move on? Like, why are you not looking at your own
Yeah,
camera?
like look at your camera.
Like that's
bro.
like it's gonna see you turning there,
Exactly.
and that's what I can't wait
when
to
you
see.
talk, it zones in on you.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
the funny part, though. That's what the comedic element
You
of
know
me
what?
looking at the wide when that one's zooming in.
Okay.
You know?
do you
Come
do.
on now.
You do.
All right, side
Dwight
eye,
Schrute.
side eye, Steve. Let's
I
go.
heard that.
I seen that commercial, the Google commercial.
Google commercial.
The little side-eyed blonde girl. Okay, never mind.
All right.
All right, so mine. I once won a fight by getting the opponent dizzy.
It's that one. That's
Are
true.
you sure?
That's true.
That's true.
Oh, this guy's with it today, yo.
100%.
He knows us.
100%.
He knows us.
I've several times fallen asleep in meetings, and 4 times gotten caught by the same VP.
Okay, what's your last
Those are 2 or 1.
No,
No,
it's
that's
two
just- that's
separate.
one.
Okay, 2 7.
Yeah,
Okay.
two.
Yeah. I once stole a phone and got suspended from work because of it.
It's the second one. Actually, no. What do you think? It's 2 or 3.
Can you read them again, please?
I once won a fight by getting the opponent dizzy.
That's 100% true.
Okay.
Off top.
Off
Yeah.
the top, it's true.
That's just something I'm Mukhtar.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
That just fits his narrative, you know?
I just went in a circle a couple
Yeah.
times.
Why, he's like a cat.
I've several times fallen asleep in meetings and 4 times got caught by the same VP.
It's a little bit descriptive.
Yeah, that sounds
And-
like an anecdote.
Yeah. And what's the last one?
And once stole a phone and got suspended from work because of it.
You got
Yes.
suspended at work?
From work.
Stole a phone?
Yeah.
You got suspended from
He ain't
work?
stealing no
Yeah,
phone.
Rona times.
He ain't stealing no phone.
If it was high school or something, or
Come on, man.
middle school or
Come on, this guy's a law-abiding citizen.
from work.
Rona times.
Rona times. Okay. Interesting.
He ain't doing that.
It's 2 or 3. What do you feel?
This guy, man, he that last one is cap.
I feel like
Mhm.
it's 2.
Why do you say that?
Because I think he changed up the numbers.
What do you mean?
Because he was like, I got caught 4 times. I got caught 3 times. I think he actually got caught once or twice.
Hmm.
And he inflated the numbers.
So he's embellishing that story.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think there's truth in it.
Hold on.
What do you think?
His eyes are lying to me right now.
You think 3, eh?
What's the crooked eye?
Those are lying eyes.
Hmm.
But he is from Dixonton.
You can't trust them guys.
We can't, you know, I mean, like, you can't be too sure, you know?
We're law-abiding citizens. I've always said that.
All right.
Oh, so he's admitting he's a law-abiding citizen.
Oh, you're right still.
I've always said that.
He's telling on himself.
I feel like Mukhtar sleeps.
Yeah.
I sleep.
He be sleeping.
Yeah, he be
He be sleeping. You get 8 hours?
Barely.
So that means he must be taking naps
I think-
on the side.
I think it's 2, but there's a good chance it's 3 too. So I'll let it be with you. What do you think?
I think my gut's telling me 3, man.
You guys think?
My
Okay,
gut's
lock
telling
it
me-
in on 3. Lock it in on 3.
He was an employee of the month, if I'm not mistaken, at Rona.
When?
he was- He was an employee. Anything.
He was a decorated employee over there.
Nah, it was a Tropicana job. Remember, you were working
Yeah.
at Old Navy at the same time.
I lock it in.
Way to expose me some more, man.
Lock it in. Lock it in.
Working at Old Navy. It's
You tell him location too, for God's sakes.
I don't
Lock it in.
remember.
We're locking it in. We're locking
Lock it
it
in
in.
at 3.
Okay,
You ain't steal no phone, did you?
3 is a lie, but there's a spin. I did steal the phone.
What?
I ended up.
Oh, you were right.
No,
Shout out to you,
I
bro.
mean, like he's saying
Shout
yes
out
and no right now. Where's
Okay,
the story
I
leading?
did steal the phone, but I ended up giving it back.
Why'd you steal the
'Cause-
phone?
I seen a phone in the break room, and it was just on the table. So I took it, and the way I was not a good criminal, I went behind some
Damn.
shelves, moved some boxes in the way, planted it deep in some aisle,
Yeah.
and I said, if no one I see is looking for this, I'm just gonna,
Why would someone not look for their phone?
if no one I know was looking for it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna see. I wasn't a good criminal back then.
Yeah, put my phone away, bro.
But then I seen
I'll put my
I seen
phone
a guy
away.
look for.
Yo, take my phone.
I seen a guy looking for it. It was,
Yeah.
and then I said, "Yo, this guy could." Then he said, "Yo, there's a camera right here. I'm gonna go tell the managers." The camera, there's one camera in the middle of the room. I didn't know how big the lens was
Damn, okay.
because I'm saying, yo, there's only one camera in here.
Yeah.
That's to capture the whole room.
Yeah.
So I said, yo, I found your phone, but I put it somewhere. So just in case whoever it belonged to, I can let them know it's here. But like the way I took this guy on a journey to go get this phone, I
should
ended
need
up
my
giving
phone.
it back.
I don't know why I did that.
No, but I did fall asleep in a couple meetings, and the same VP kept on catching me. And
Wow.
I
told you.
I'm narcoleptic.
Is it a current VP or an old VP?
No, it's not my current company. It was my old company.
Gotcha.
It just that's why I don't do well in environments I'm just being talked at for a long time.
Yeah.
And I start falling asleep because I'm a person. I need to be interactive, so I don't learn anything in trainings and freaking lectures and shit like that. I need to actually. That's why I learned later on in life though. I didn't learn that in school. In school, I wasn't doing that well. And then it took me later on to realize, I need to be active. And now when I'm listening to podcasts and doing other things, I need to be moving around.
Yeah.
To actually capture and absorb the information.
Gotcha.
Because it's important for everybody to learn. See how my shit turned into a lesson?
Well, as long as,
I mean, it went from rock bottom to,
He made stealing sound like a lesson.
I mean, yeah.
Like,
I'm going to start calling you Karan Butler or something.
But my first one, it happened in the first grade before I moved to Toronto. That was the funny part.
Okay.
I kept on moving around the guy.
I can imagine. You look like the type of guy who goes in circles. You look like that type of guy.
Just so you know, I was elite at skipping back then.
I can imagine.
Elite. Not just
What type of award? Ribbon?
No, it was one of those like small little, like
trophies?
Those small little trophy plaques, the plastic ones.
They make a moment of it?
Of course, I was at the assembly.
Come on,
they awarded me.
Look at the camera, let them know.
Jump rope for heart? That's me, nigga. Come on, man. 2005? That's me, nigga.
All right.
You think we're talking about Ace that in his parachute pants?
100%.
Nah, he would get lost in the skipping.
I'll be you right now, fam.
In those?
No, in general.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, we're doing a coffee break skip off?
With this knee, I can't. I'm not gonna lie. My jersey's in the rafters already. I'm not coming out of retirement.
Yeah, you scared him off?
What do you mean?
Nah, he scared you off.
My physiotherapist scared me off. But
your physiotherapist scared you off.
We're not gonna get into that. We're not. Guys, we have Reddit content today. Okay? So I want you guys to give me your honest opinion. So we're gonna start with some "Am I the assholes?" Just our bread and butter to keep it all right. And I actually want to hear your opinion more on this specific one that I'm about to say, based off of the previous "Am I the assholes?" we've had. But let's get into this one. Okay. So it says, "Am I the asshole for telling my parent friend that she needs to cook and that is why her daughter isn't eating?"
That's a wild thing to say.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
Interesting.
"My daughter has a best friend since kindergarten, and they're in 7th grade. This year, Sarah, my daughter, Sarah, the other girl, has gotten quite thin, and her mom has come to me saying she isn't eating. My daughter backed this up and said that she picks at her food at school. I thought it was an eating disorder at the time and told my friend to take her to the doctor. My friend needed to leave for a work trip this week and asked me to watch over her daughter. No big deal. She'll stay over for the week. First night I made meatloaf and she ate it. She didn't get sick. The result of the week was anything I made she would eat without any issue. She even came back for seconds for most meals. At the end of this week, she asked me why my food didn't make her sick. Apparently, she only eats TV dinners at home, which makes her feel like crap. The school food also sometimes makes her sick, so she's cautious about it and picks around it a lot. My guess is that there is an allergen what? I don't even know what this word says.
Preservative?
We're just going to gloss over that. My guess is that there is an allergy involved and she needs to get that checked out.
Yeah.
When I dropped her off, I pulled my friend to the side and told her everything. I told her that she really needs to cook and take her to the doctor to get her allergy checked out. She was not happy about this and basically called me a jerk for overstepping. Am I the asshole? That one hits home because it's somebody else's kid, but you're still like this person is still concerned about this child's well-being, but the immediate parent isn't willing to accept their criticism or advice because of like some kind of a pride issue or something like that. So I was like, it's a little bit weird because, you could still feel the guilt from the friend side
Mhm.
because they just spent a week with this child and this child was, eating as,
What's TV dinners though?
like have
the
you ever,
frozen dinners, the
have you,
ones
yeah, like the ones that they
Hungry Man.
It's
Hungry
pre-packed?
Man, yeah. It's pre-packed and has like these like compartments of like
Yeah, you put it in the microwave for like 10 minutes, comes out, it's food.
I've never heard of that. Okay.
that apparently that's what that child has been eating
Yeah.
at home. And the school food also isn't very, appealing to the child.
Another
So
variation of
they're
TV
picking
dinners?
around.
Okay.
No, I mean, like, it's probably just not good quality food.
Mm.
And the child is picking
You guys
around.
never had frozen food before?
I eat frozen. I don't know what TV dinners is.
I never had
It's
the
like the
Hungry
same thing,
Man.
but just
Like-
different
Like I
categories.
make frozen veggies and things like that.
No. I'm talking about frozen food, like frozen mac and cheese. You put it in the
No.
microwave, comes out 3 minutes, done. You never seen that?
I mean, I had the frozen pizzas and like,
Okay.
those.
I've never
I've
even
had those
that
a lot,
either.
yeah. But yeah, this one really is kind of weird because like, how much do you think that this person should feel obligated to follow up on this? Is the question here for me. You know,
Like
the concerned friend.
I think she did her job.
Yeah,
Like,
but
you can't do more than that.
you
Like
can't do more than that
Like, what can you really do? That's not your child.
without overstepping your boundaries. You mean?
It's not that you don't have any right or haq over this child to do more than what you've done for the past week.
Mm-hmm.
You gave her, because at the end of the day, the current mother of that child, terrible.
Right.
Like the fact that one, you neglected her
Mhm.
and basically giving her stuff that she can't even eat.
Yeah.
She could not. There's a possibility that she's allergic to what she's eating.
That's
compared to, like,
the theory right now. Yeah.
So she's losing weight. The mother's not noticing, and this girl is basically hungry.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
and for her to, that's actually so sad because the only time she felt comfortable in a setting was in another person's home.
Yeah.
I think because of that, the mother is failing as a parental figure. You know,
I
like
agree.
my child feels more safe and eats better when they're not in my own home.
Right.
What type of home am I cultivating?
Not even the home, deny my presence.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And another interesting fact about it was that the child was questioning why it was different at this person's house than their own house.
Yeah, they don't.
They're like, how come I didn't get sick?
They don't understand the concept of a home cooked meal.
Yeah.
You ever think about like that? Like
Mhm.
their ideology about food is so crazy that when they have good food in front of them,
They don't even
they're
know.
trying to interpret why it doesn't make me sick.
Mhm.
And I'm supposed to think that mother is a good parent?
Right.
Crazy. Impossible.
No, there's no way of disagreeing in this sense. When it's but the only thing I would say is the parent probably in that moment said, "Yo, you're judging me as a parent," but later on it opens up the door for her to reconsider later on, and momentarily, anyone says, "Yo, you're judging my parenting style." Later on, it gives her the opportunity of self-reflection and saying, "Yo, if this is the case in someone like you said, in this case, someone else's home, when I'm not there, what am I doing that's not in alignment with what she experienced over there? And what is the school doing that I can now she could probably cook her some food and pack her some lunch and things like that. It probably gives her opportunity to change her behavior. But yeah, there's no after telling the parent that this is what that's why people hide their opinion about other people's kids. After telling the parent straight up, yeah, this is the case and you need to go get your daughter checked to see what she's allergic to, and that's what she said, right?
Yeah, she said she believes it's an allergy.
Believes that's all you can do.
Mhm.
Beyond that, there's no discussion. If she cussed her out off of saying, "Yo, your child may be allergic to something," that's not your kid. That's why when I see other people's, I kind of try to turn off my emotions because you have no control of this kid's upbringing.
Let me ask you guys a question. If you guys were in this person's position, would you still consider that parent a friend of yours?
I don't think so. Still,
That's it for friendship?
Yeah,
I don't think I would cut them off, but I don't know if I want to keep somebody in my life who neglects somebody who their whole responsibility is to be a parent for,
So what would that relationship look like to you after this?
it's a head nod.
Yeah, probably like, what's up from far away?
If my opinion arises that type of reaction, especially after your daughter spent a week in my house, then you not only don't respect my opinion, you don't respect what my parenting style. Because I clearly am raising a child the same age as yours. We see our children. There's obviously something I'm doing that you can take from, and there's something you're doing that I could take from. If we can't exchange information like that, then what's the point of kikiing like we're cool?
Because the kids.
You can have the kids, you can head nod and have the kids play in the park. You don't need to.
Yeah, but they're friends
Yeah, they're
apart from the kids.
that's
But that's what I'm saying. If my opinion arises that what type of friendship's deeper than just kikiing and laughing.
Mhm.
Friendship's having serious conversations when you feel like someone's slipping.
Mhm.
If I'm doing wrong right now, I expect you guys to say, yo, after all these years, I expect you guys to say, yo, there's something off right there.
Mhm.
so if
Do better.
My
You're
question is-
harming other people.
my question is more so involving the fact that they're both parents, you know, since this information is now presented in the friendship, right? And you're saying that that's more so something to just acknowledge and move on from,
Yeah,
right? How does that affect the relationship between the daughters? You know,
they could still be friends. You know,
Yeah.
is
I'm
there
not
going to
gonna
be
take away.
there's not going to be any more sleepovers and stuff like that, though?
If I don't feel comfortable with my daughter there,
Mm-hmm.
but 100% her daughter can come here.
She won't, like, it doesn't seem.
I don't think that's
custody,
that.
yeah,
I think
But
that
what I'm
that
saying
door
is,
probably
that door is open. I'm not saying she's not gonna want to come, but if that door is open, if she wants to, you know.
yeah, I
interesting.
agree with that.
It's a tough situation to be in. I'm not gonna lie. This
Would
one,
you let your daughter go over there if
No.
she doesn't know how to feed her own child?
no.
I wouldn't go there.
And there probably will come a time where one of the two daughters would be like, "How come I can't go there?" Or like, you know, start questioning the distance there is,
Mhm.
and that's going to be a
Yeah,
hard.
they're gonna grow up and chill outside of our
be a
houses.
hard
you know?
conversation to have, but it's something that needs to be said.
Yeah, facts. Terrible mom.
So not the asshole.
Yeah, the person who took care of the kid is not the asshole.
All right, and yourself,
I agree.
not the
Yeah,
asshole.
it's just a neglectful parenting style. It needs to be readjusted. But hopefully, going forward, she learns better.
I agree, not the asshole. So we can all agree on that one.
Yeah.
All right, on to the next one. Okay, am I the asshole? I told my parents they birthed a disabled child, so they just have to live with it.
Subhanallah.
What?
Subhanallah.
Actually, I'm very okay. I now that this is starting to come back to me.
Can you reread the title?
Well, it's like, am I the asshole? And then like a slash or a bracket, right? So it says, I told my parents they birthed a disabled child, so they just have to live with it. Am I the
Oh,
asshole?
okay. I misheard. Okay.
Yeah, that was the phrase that was said, and they're asking, was that an asshole thing to say? pretty
Okay.
much.
All right.
Okay. I, 22 female, have been diagnosed with ADHD, autism, dyslexia, dyspraxia, low muscle issues, anxiety, and I'm slightly blind.
Oh my god.
I got diagnosed from the age of 2 to 7 with everything. Due to all of my diagnoses, I'm unable to drive anywhere. I can still bus places and take Ubers, but being driven somewhere else is sometimes the best option for me. Multiple doctors told my parents that I would be unable to drive due to being slightly blind and having anxiety. As I'm unable to hold a full-time job, I don't have heaps of money coming in, so Ubers are usually my last resort. Yesterday, I asked my dad if he could pick me up as the bus I was supposed to take never came. When he went to pick me up, he made a few comments saying that it would be a lot easier if I could drive and how I should learn to drive anyways, despite the fact that doctors don't want me to, and as he hates having to pick me up all the time. I replied that it's just what happens when you have a disabled child and it's something that you have to put up with. He took massive offense to this and told my mom, who thought I was being incredibly rude. He picks me up once or twice a week at most. Am I the asshole?
He is.
Let's talk
He
about
is
it.
the asshole.
Let's talk about it.
Because okay. So let me break this up. I understand where she's coming from, and parenthood is something in which you have to take care of your child.
Mm-hmm.
Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Especially when the kid has a type of sickness in which you have to have more care for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Agree or disagree?
Agree.
So 100% the parents need to take care of this kid because there are so many things in which she's incapable of doing on her own.
Right.
You know? The part that I disagree with is the way he worded that sentence, you know? It's
Mhm.
kind of like, you should do this, you know, because X, Y, and Z, you know? In fact, she should be a little bit more grateful that her parents are doing this for her, you know?
Mhm.
Because it's probably years upon years upon years in which they've done so much for her.
Yeah, this is a 22-year-old woman.
Yeah, so they're continuing for 22 years. They've basically done everything for this girl, you know?
Right.
And I get it, like, it's always like the honorable thing to be like, I will take care of this person no matter thick and thin, right? But in reality, it's harder than it looks, you know? And there's going to be times where the boiling point is at its all-time high. But as a person, as a caregiver, you always have to take that down, right? Because this is your child and you love them and you have to do everything for them. For her to kind of have this arrogant tone and be like, you should do this because of this, like I've been doing this for you forever. Do you not have any respect for me as a human being, as a parent figure? Like, respect me. I think in that comment that she made, she didn't respect him and saw him more as an Uber and less as a father.
Right.
And for that reason, I think she's the asshole. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. Well said.
It does make sense, but at the same time, if someone's being told by medical, let's take aside, we would never disrespect our parents. That's not what I'm justifying here. But if someone is told by medical professionals, hey, like, this is why she can't drive, and the whole family's being told this.
Yeah.
That she has blindness, she has anxiety, whatever it may be, and you're still making slight comments at her, but it's something that she can't control. She may be able to work at with your care, but she can't control the fact that she's not in this position to drive.
Yeah.
And we don't know. She didn't mention she said there's slight comments, including that you should learn how to drive.
Okay.
So we don't know the extent of what he said to trigger that, yo, you have a disabled child. I am your disabled child. In the title, I thought she was talking about something else, but she's talking about herself.
Yeah, so did
I am your disabled child. This is what comes with it. It should be some sort of realization in her emotion that, yo, she's frustrated about this too. As a person, you don't want to be driven around all the time. You don't want to be a burden on someone else. If it comes to the extent where the bus that I was at your daughter, the bus I should have been on didn't come, this is out of her control.
Okay.
So in that moment, comments that you should learn how to drive that's unnecessary. That's obvious that everyone wants to drive. But if you're not in the position to, and especially you're in a position where you're stranded somewhere and you need to rely on family to come get you, especially your father, is that really the moment to be making slight comments?
I agree with you that, you know, maybe he shouldn't have said that comment, but back to the point I was making, there's boiling points.
Yeah.
If I'm doing something consistently for 22 years, there's gonna be ugly sides of me, you know? I'm not a perfect human being. Should I have said that? No, but there's gonna be times where stuff come out of my mouth which I don't really mean, but they come out of frustration, right?
Yeah.
In my opinion, the way she should have responded was, I'm sorry, let's think of ways in which we can, you know, do this more efficiently. You know, I understand you're frustrated with me, but at this moment I can't do anything else, you know? And he probably would have responded like, yo, I'm sorry, I apologize, you know? Hearing that come out of his own daughter probably put it into perspective what he said was wrong. But for her to come out and say, it's your job, she basically told him, you know how that reporter told LeBron, shut up and dribble? She basically told him, shut up and drive.
Did she say it's your job, though?
That's basically what she said.
It just says, yesterday I had asked my dad if he could pick me up as the bus I was supposed to take never came.
But what did she say in response to him saying whatever he said?
She said, that's just what happens when you have a disabled child, and it's something you have to put up with.
Yeah, you have to put up with it. So basically she told him, shut up and drive.
But that comes, again, we're not justifying disrespecting parents, but that comes with, she's frustrated as well at being stranded somewhere where a bus, who knows how long she's been waiting there for the bus.
Yeah.
And then she had to call her parents. If you're taking the bus, you're not driving, but you're still not being a burden on someone else. The fact that you're having to call your dad, you're aware that you're being a burden.
Yeah.
And then you're still frustrated that you were stranded that long waiting for the bus. And then your dad comes or let's not say dad, because I'm not a person that justifies disrespecting their parents. And then the person that you called comes and then they make the comment of, you should know how to drive.
Okay.
In that moment, you're already frustrated and you're already aware that you're being a burden. And sometimes when you're frustrated and you feel bad for burdening someone else, sometimes you do say inappropriate comments. That wasn't an inappropriate comment, but that was not the time for that conversation.
But her dad's doing her a favor.
He is.
Why would you berate the person who's helping you?
But why would you make a comment in that? You should be emotionally aware for both.
Because he's inconvenienced.
On both of them, they should be emotionally aware. He should be she's been stranded here for a little while. She's gonna sound frustrated, especially she's 22. You should know your child already, in what moments to bring shit up by.
But you're basically saying that the guy has no room for emotions.
Yeah.
He has room for emotion.
He's gonna, like he's saying, he's a human being. There's gonna be times where he's at a boiling point. He's gonna break.
But you're an adult. We're all in this world right now. We know how to speak.
They're both
to people.
adults.
I know, but he is at this point right now. We are aware of when to bring up comments towards people and when not to. If
sometimes,
but
what I'm trying to say is sometimes you're not fully aware of that because of the situation you're in currently.
Regardless,
you can blow up. That's a natural human thing that happens.
That could be.
Yeah.
At the same time, we're trying to dissect their conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're both at a frustrating point.
Right.
They're both at some sort of uncomfortable position where they're both not angry. They're just angry at the circumstance.
Right.
So we're justifying what he's saying to her in that moment, but we're just trying to look down and say, "Yo, you shouldn't be speaking like that to her." Where they're both at a frustrating point.
Well, it's not necessary. Like the thing is, I think personally, to use your disabilities as something to throw in somebody's face is the worst of the two acts that's been done here.
But to bring up an aspect of something that I cannot control, especially in this moment where I've been standing here stranded waiting for this bus.
Yeah.
And then I had to swallow my own pride because she takes bus. She could be the spoiled person that says, yo, I want to be driven everywhere. She takes bus as a point of independence. I want to be independent. I don't want to rely on anybody. I don't want to be a burden on anybody.
Okay.
That moment, she had to put that pride aside and say, yo, I have to call somebody.
But she couldn't put it aside in the car.
That whole point is her trying to swallow her pride and call.
Yeah.
And now you throwing an aspect of that, what I cannot control, in my face. Is that proper?
I think that's first off, I don't agree with her having to swallow her pride to call her dad. I think she was in a situation where she had no choice but to.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't think that's what the only other option is what? To be stranded there?
Exactly.
So I don't think that's swallowing your pride. I think that's out of necessity. That's where I disagree with you.
That's swallowing your pride a bit because, again.
But how? Look, let me give you an example of what I'm trying to say. If I'm stuck in the rain, I have no ride to get home, and the only person that can bring me home is somebody who I'm not seeing eye to eye with right now, am I going to stand in the rain and stay wet, or am I just going to swallow my pride and call them?
No, but you want, to a certain extent, you want to thug things out. You want to see, hey, I don't want to inconvenience my parents. Let me see how long I can wait for this bus. Sometimes if I'm taking a bus, I'm waiting 20 minutes. If I need that bus to get where I need to go, if I need that bus to get home, I'll wait 20 minutes. I'll wait 30 minutes. I don't want to call Uber right now. I don't want to call for a ride. I'll wait as long as it needs to take for this bus to get here.
Right.
Because I don't want to inconvenience it. I don't want to spend an exuberant amount of money, especially Ubers now.
Right. I hear
so
you.
That's swallowing pride.
That makes sense. Yeah. But like my thing is like, okay, you see a fire. You're putting more gasoline on it. Is that the solution here?
How's it throwing more gasoline on?
Somebody made a comment that you don't like, right? The dad said you should learn how to drive. And now you're going to make an even worse comment on top of that to solve the problem?
But again, right now, I wear glasses.
Okay, I don't.
Okay.
Huh?
I do, but I'm not wearing them right now.
No, I'm not making comment. I'm saying I wear glasses.
Okay.
I have an ailment right now.
So do I. I wear glasses too.
You throw in a comment about my ailment, would that be proper?
No, not at all.
In a point of where we're both frustrated. I broke my glasses. I can't see. I'm relying on you a little bit for navigational purposes, but you are tired after a long day. Would that be proper about, yo, you should go get contacts?
That's different though.
That's completely
How's that different?
Because that's 22 years of boiling point. Because what you're saying is like an instance in which you require support, right? What I'm saying is the father, since a young age, was supporting this girl, and I'm not to the point that I made earlier. He's not a perfect.
This is after thousands of rides. You know what I mean?
And I'm not justifying what he said was correct.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I feel like there's two L's here being taken.
What I'm saying is, I like the point that you made. Are you just gonna throw fire? Are you gonna throw you're just gonna make the fire bigger, bro?
But they're both at that moment. They're both emotional.
But there's somebody who is giving you a favor.
Regardless,
there's somebody who's doing a favor for you.
So you're gonna throw the favor in my face at this moment, right?
I'm not saying I'm throwing in but what I'm saying is, why would you berate the person who's supporting you? Instead, why don't you respond with, how can we do this differently in order for you to do this less in the future?
Not
like
to mention
for her, it was kind of like an argument. Like, why couldn't it be more like, how can we solve this in order for you to be less frustrated?
But a frustrating point that you had to come pick her up.
Yeah.
Could have waited till the next day when everyone has a clear mind to bring up this topic. Why does that topic need to be brought up right now?
It doesn't.
Because it's
That's
happening
not. That's
right
not what.
now.
That's not.
It could
That's not what's in
happen.
justification. That's not what I'm justifying. I'm saying that wasn't right. That's not what should have happened.
Okay.
But what happened after made the situation way worse.
Regardless,
That's not regardless.
the
though.
comment that started
How can that be regardless?
the comment that started the conversation didn't need to happen.
I think
Yeah.
that was
Either one didn't need to happen.
But the reason why I say that one of the two was worse is because I can see the viewpoint of the dad having 22 years of taking care of this child.
You guys keep on bringing up 22 years. Like,
Yeah, that's pent up. That's pent up aggression.
He didn't. He didn't have this child.
He did.
Is this a child that he borrowed from someone else?
Brother.
22 years is the child that he.
Yeah, but he's a human being.
He's a human.
He's a human being.
Well, you guys keep on throwing up 22 years like this is a job.
It is a job.
This is
when you have a disabled child. That's work.
Parenthood is a
You
responsibility.
have to. You put in extra work,
child.
brother.
Yeah,
what
but
the circumstance he's in is that he's had this child and he's been taking care of this disabled child for their entire lives. There's gonna come a time naturally as a human being where he feels inconvenienced in taking care of this disabled child. Of course, he loves his child. He'll do whatever it takes. That's why he didn't say, fuck off, I'm not coming. But he has a right to feel a certain way because of the situation he's in, the circumstances he's in. He's also being inconvenienced here. We don't know what he was doing before he came to pick this girl up or this person up.
Yeah.
We don't know. So there's a lot of holes in the story that we can't fill with assumption, in my opinion. But I'm just saying, based off of the fact, we see that one person's comment led to another person's comment, and now we have a situation that they're asking for advice about. And that's the advice I'm giving. I think that they're the asshole because they took it too far.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they weren't justified in saying what I'm saying that comment could have been a different comment that didn't lead to this. Imagine she just said, I can't drive. You know that. Doctor said I can't drive.
Yeah.
That's completely
like
the same way of this. Go ahead.
He neglected. He said, regardless of what they said, you should be able to drive.
Can I read that verbatim?
Read that back. That's where he started. He neglected the doctor's point.
Okay. Yesterday, I asked my dad if he could pick me up as the bus I was supposed to take never came. When he went to pick me up, he made a few comments saying that it would be a lot easier if I could drive and how I should learn to drive anyways, despite the fact that doctors don't want me to drive as he hates having to pick me up all the time.
Yeah, but it's okay. Is that a good point? I'm not brought up, sir. But what I'm saying is,
no, he's right. No, that's a good point.
It doesn't invalidate the experience that he's frustrated. I get it. What you're trying to say is, he should do it. But are you just gonna tell him to just noise and just like do whatever he's told? Brother, I'm aware of somebody in my life who is a caregiver. Okay, and they do everything for this person.
Yeah, and
they love this person so much. But there are times when you are so frustrated, and it's like, how am I supposed to do everything for you? But then you have to take a step back and be like, I love this person, you know? But, you know, it's an inconvenience to you at times and where you have to step away from the conversation. But sometimes there's things that are said that you can't take back, you know? And that was probably something that he knew well off that what he said was incorrect.
Yeah.
And he probably regretted it when it came out of his mouth, of course. But that's probably because he was at a boiling point that he couldn't control. He's a human being.
I accept that point that he is a human being, but there's outlets. Your wife's an outlet. There's you can go any therapy's an outlet. Other people are an outlet, except for the person right now. The person that you mentioned that's caregiving for the other person. Would they ever make a comment to the person they're caregiving?
They have before.
What is that proper?
It's not proper, but
it's something that happens.
It happens.
It's something that happens.
Like
it's just a natural human aspect.
It's like you have this idea that parenthood or caregiving is like this perfection in which you have to act perfect all the time. No, there are times where this is a time where the father messed up. We can admit that, right?
Yeah.
100% he messed up.
Yep.
And he probably knew when it came out of his tongue, came out of his mouth, it was wrong, you know? But for her to be like, in her own way, I'm rephrasing what she said, shut up and just do what you're told. I think that's such a disrespect. Like, how are you going to thank me? It's not that he needs thanks, but like for everything I did for 22 years, and you just look at it as shut up and do what. Like, do you not respect me as not as a parent, but as like somebody who's in the household who's supporting you with everything?
Another thing too is that like, what do you expect of the people that have been taking care of you for this long, and probably longer after, if you're making comments like that.
Yeah.
You know?
I get that she was improper for the way the comment she made, but the initial comment, if that didn't come out the way it came out, and if he didn't clean it up after, the second comment would have come. Because there's nothing of her control that this circumstance create.
There's nothing of the dad's control. There's nothing of the dad's control that could have, like we're assuming that he's frustrated, right? For having been inconvenienced.
We're assuming they're both frustrated.
Right. We're assuming that they're both frustrated for having been inconvenienced. But you're giving one person a pass and sticking on another person for, I don't understand why.
I'm not giving her the pass. I'm saying his comment, we're giving him, you guys are giving him a pass.
I'm not giving him a pass.
I'm not giving him a pass. I'm just saying that it's more understandable what he said rather than, I can see myself saying what he said more than what she said.
Because right now you are a person that gives rides instead of asks for rides.
But if I'm in the position where, if I'm in the position where I can't take care for myself, I would never demean the person that's taking care of me. I can't fathom that. I can't fathom.
Like, I have a real life scenario where I remember when I was younger, I asked somebody, hey, could you take me somewhere? And obviously, at this point, I couldn't drive. And they were like, yo, I'm not your taxi. Like, this is like a comparable. And this person loved me as a person. Like, they were like a parental figure to me. But they were so frustrated with my constant request of being like, yo, could you take me somewhere? And they would do anything for me. And they still did take me somewhere. But that came out of their mouth. And I was like, I'm sorry. Maybe I should look. They were like, yo, my bad. Came out wrong. It's just natural for somebody to overreact at times in which, so much is on their plate.
No, man.
But okay.
We can wrap this up because I'm not going to. We expect people to have some decorum of how they speak. Mm-hmm. And I understand there's boiling points, but you cannot react, say, yo, this is what she said to me when you made a comment like that about something that they cannot control. We're not in control of our ailments.
So you believe fight fire with fire?
No, I believe they both had a boiling point and they both...
But then
who's the asshole? Who's the asshole?
I don't see an asshole there.
So she's not the asshole?
She's not the asshole to me.
Interesting.
Because if he made one comment, he probably made a few others beforehand.
Who's in the wrong here?
In this story right now, she is not an asshole to you.
I don't see an asshole.
Who's in the wrong then?
No.
Dad's in the wrong.
You have to answer the question. Who's in the wrong?
I see him in the wrong more than her.
So you see him as the asshole then?
Yeah.
Okay. I think he's the asshole.
Completely disagree. I'm not going to lie. And I feel for that dad. I'm not going to lie because I'm assuming at 22 years old, at this point now, since she's legally known as an adult, she's going to some doctor appointments by herself, doing things for herself a little bit, right? Gaining some small independence. And then, still having to have the need of your parents taking care of you for certain things and treating them a certain way. It just doesn't register in my mind.
But it doesn't register to me. You are aware that she probably feels bad for calling you. And you are aware that she has some...
Not in that moment. Not in that moment.
In the moment, he brought up a comment saying you, regardless
of
what
I'm saying. It's not. I'm saying that that's not right, but that happens sometimes. And that's just natural. That people get to that point where they say things they regret. It's happened to me. He's explained several anecdotes of it happening to him. Yeah, I'm just saying that that's a natural human aspect that you're failing to understand.
It happens to all of us.
Right.
So someone's asked of us.
So why are we condemning this person?
We're young adults and we learned how to swallow our pride a bit.
Yeah.
And learn how to speak to people with decorum.
Do you think for the rest of your life you will never say something out of turn again?
You would, but I wouldn't just decline what I said. Mm-hmm. What brought that comment onto me? What brought that reaction from you onto me?
Okay.
I wouldn't deny what I said.
Not saying you are.
I don't believe in spreading my issue of my conflict with you or my conflict with my child to someone else.
That's not in question here. I'm saying that, do you agree that there are times in life where people say things that they do not mean or they instantly want to take back?
Yes, for both of them in the circumstance,
right.
Though.
So in that case, does that not mean that this person can get to a point where they can be in that situation and say something they don't mean?
My whole point is they both...
Why does that make this person an asshole?
Because your comment made this whole situation rise.
Right. But if we're acknowledging that sometimes people say things that they don't mean, so why does that make you an asshole?
Why are we giving him such a decorum and not her, though?
Because
she can't be frustrated in this moment?
Okay, I understand the frustration. It's the comments we're discussing here.
But we're giving him decorum because of he's frustrated.
Because he's saying something that he truly feels, but he shouldn't say, right? She's saying something that she probably, if she feels that way, she's an asshole, guaranteed. That her parents have to do this for her. right? And if she's not feeling that way, then she's just trying to, mix up some fire. Like, I don't understand what do you get out of saying that is what I'm trying to say.
But if this is clearly, this is not the way she reacted. This is not his first comment about this.
Oh, no. You're inferring. You can't do that.
But if someone repeatedly says something to you, that's the type of reactions that I don't believe that type of reaction comes out right away. This is not reported.
Let's take what we have so far. I feel like you're adding extra context.
Because if this is a certain circumstance,
I like how passionate you get about it. I like how passionate you're getting about this. Let's keep going.
You interrupted my flow.
No, keep the flow going. Keep the flow going.
No, we're rocking too long. But if this is something, she said that I asked him for rides twice a week. This is clearly not the first time this comment seems to have come out. Otherwise, why would I go directly to my ailment?
Because she's an asshole.
I don't.
That's what I
can't just throw asshole on her because she made this comment.
I don't think she's an asshole for the ways, for the lack
what she said.
Her resources. I think she's an asshole for the way she treats the people who support her.
That's what I think. Again, you're inferring. We can't say that.
What do you mean? I'm just guessing it off of what she said to him. I'm not inferring.
She said,
"How do you say that
you have a disabled child."
Mm-hmm.
He's saying neglect the doctor's recommendations.
My point is, don't fight fire with fire, brother. That's my whole point.
While the person light the match, why light the match?
What?
Why start the fire in the beginning?
So your thing is keep adding to the fire.
No, I'm saying don't start the fire at the beginning.
No, but let's say I start a fire. You're adding to it.
Yes.
Okay. You see, that's where you and I disagree.
Yeah, I don't fight fire with fire, man.
I don't fight fire with fire.
I disagree heavily.
I know you're the person. We're putting the parental thing aside.
Mm-hmm.
If someone comes with you with some sort of disrespect, are you not the person that tries to stand up for yourself?
It depends on the circumstance. Is it a random person on the street? I'm not gonna.
I'm not justifying parents. That's why I keep on removing.
Yo, chances are, fam, I walk away from most situations. I'm not going to be out here fighting unnecessary battles. Like, I'm not, like, why do I have to add stress to somebody who doesn't even matter in my life? Why am I giving that person space in me? Pause. You know?
We're in a serious moment.
But you know what I mean? Why am I giving that person any space at all? Like, they don't deserve that. Just because somebody comes and calls me an asshole, I'm not going to be, okay, am I going to fight back and forth? No, I'm not adding fire to that. In this situation, I don't think it's right. If somebody's like, let's say a parent is like, yo, you did this wrong, blah, 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 and yelling at me, right? I'd be like, yo, how can I support you in order to be better? I'm not going to be like, yo, this is what you did yesterday, blah, blah, blah. I'm not fighting back. I'm not arguing. I don't think there was an effective way for this conversation to end because they're obviously going to go back and forth now. Next day, he told the mom. They're probably going to have a whole family meeting now. If he came out and said, yo, my bad. What can I do better? He probably would have felt like an idiot for saying that comment. And then not only that, but he probably would have sat down with her and brainstormed ideas on how they can effectively do this moving forward. But for her to be like, yo, shut up and drive. All right.
So we can't just reduce what she said to shut up and drive.
That's basically what she said.
That's kind of the sum of what she was saying. She said,
in this moment where you said don't infer, we can't reduce what she said.
Okay, say that exact line.
You could just say that she
Let's end this Am I the Asshole with that line, fam. Go ahead.
I told my parents they birthed a disabled child, so they just have to deal with it.
Bet. You don't hear that?
I don't see that as I see that the person that started the fight to begin with.
All right, cool.
They're both an asshole to me, but he's more of an asshole for starting the argument.
Okay.
That's unnecessary.
I disagree heavily. I think that the person who made the situation worse should understand that. And hopefully she's reading the comments.
Yeah, we can disagree.
Like you guys are. Write the comments. We want to hear your opinion, all right? Passionate conversations always on the Coffee Break podcast. So we bring you guys every week. Stay tuned for the next one.
Stay tuned.
All right. So we are here.
Why'd you start raising your voice?
He's in his
TV voice?
Yo, don't pre me, bro. Don't pre me, dog.
Caught me off guard a little bit.
Don't pre me, man. Huh? You gonna fight fire with fire on me?
Gonna speak louder, fam.
Watch the last Am I the Asshole.
Stay tuned, guys. We got some heat for you, man. All right. Today I messed up by negotiating for a higher salary. It already hits deep, man. I'm trying to negotiate for a higher salary too, man. Tell me what you fucked up with. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. All right. This was 6 months ago, immediately after I became unemployed. I had a phone interview with a company that found my resume. It seemed like a great fit for my niche background. During my call with the hiring manager, we discussed my salary requirements. I told him I was looking for $96,000 a year.
Solid.
The hiring manager said they typically do their best to accommodate as much as possible, but there are no promises. A few days later, I get an offer for $90,000 a year. My wife suggested I politely negotiate for the initial $96K I asked for, hoping that they'd at least be able to meet me halfway.
Mm.
The next day, I got a response that they would have to put the position on hold and wouldn't be able to move forward with that offer. I can't help but think that they went with a different candidate who didn't want as much, and I blew my job offer. Maybe they were being honest, but my gut tells me that in this market, I wasn't in any position to negotiate.
Hmm.
What do you guys think?
I don't think he messed up. I think right before you sign a contract, do as much negotiating as you can. You know, like do as much as you can. Because the second you sign that contract, there's no changing anything.
Yeah.
You have 3 weeks of vacation, you have 3 weeks of vacation. You know?
Unless they're doing like, unless some time goes on, you've been there, you can gain some
you can
value.
get
You can gain some actual
you
leverage
yeah.
to negotiate. But right off bat, yeah, honestly,
I don't
especially going from 90 to 96, you fumbled a bag, bro.
Yeah.
Fumbled a bag.
If I saw, probably because everybody who always does salary negotiation, they throw ballpark numbers, assuming that they will never get that, right?
Right.
In fact, they kind of met him with the 90 there. It's in the same 10,
Did they move? I missed it. Did they move up? Was that 90 the initial amount?
No, I don't think that was not mentioned.
They offered 90,000.
That was
when his initial request was 96.
96. Okay.
Yeah, they came back with 90.
And then he declined after that?
No, he didn't decline. He tried to negotiate.
Yeah.
And they were like, we're going to put the position on hold for now. That was
He said, my wife suggested I politely negotiate for the initial 96K.
He put it on his wife, eh?
He's blaming his wife, throwing his wife under the bus here. She's like, no, we need that 6K.
Yeah.
I don't think he's in the wrong for negotiating.
I don't even think the wife is.
But if I could be totally transparent, then I would respond back to that email saying I'm okay with the 90 if that's still available. You have to.
No, but
they said they put the position on hold.
I'll be like, I'll be on hold.
Take it off hold. I'll take 80.
I'll take 85.
Oh no.
I don't think he's in the wrong though at all.
He's not in the wrong, but he tried to push for the 96 again. She said try to negotiate the 96.
No, he wanted 93. He said meet me halfway.
Oh, he said 93.
Yeah,
no, because
he said.
I don't know why I was not listening properly. There's a lot of information I missed here.
From what I remember, let me say this off top.
Okay,
he asked for 96,000.
Okay.
They said, let me get back to you.
Yeah.
They offered him 90,000.
Yeah.
And he was like, let's meet halfway. So halfway between 90 and 96 is 93.
Yeah.
So he was like, he came back with the 93 offer. And they were like, yo, we put the position on hold. Is it like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Give or take.
This guy's memory.
Yeah. So he did. I told you, he has both of your memory.
Sharp
when
memory,
we did the top 5 thing, I had to keep on looking at the list. I couldn't remember.
But I don't think he did anything. What do you think?
He didn't do anything wrong. It was just not for me. But if you're gonna have if you're weighing other options, then you have a little bit of negotiating power.
Yeah.
But if you don't have another, like we're assuming right now, he doesn't have another position. That's why he's fighting so hard for this one.
Yeah.
If you don't have other options, then you're in a difficult position. If they came back with 90,
yeah,
6K is not worth a job. 6K, like you guys said, stay there a little bit, show your value. If they don't see your value, try to see what other positions you guys can get. Just work out the however long the contract is. If it's a year contract, try to find other positions where you can up your value. You should work on your skill set and move on.
Plus, he's unemployed too, so it's like you got to take what you can get at that point.
You got to take yeah.
But it's very rare and in between that when you try to negotiate, they cut you off. I don't think that's ever happened to
you. Think
before.
that company is stingy?
Yeah, I think that's such a wild business practice.
There is only 6,000.
Yeah, I only asked for
3,000 actually. Yeah, you're right.
Just tell me no, and I'll be like, okay, fine, I'll sign the contract.
That's a corporate mind working right there.
100%.
He's thinking the corporate way right here.
And let me tell you another thing right now. If you don't ask for a salary at the beginning, you just effed yourself up.
What do you mean?
Salary
ask
increase,
for a salary?
Salary increase at the beginning, because chances are your salary is gonna go up by 2.5% to 4% every year.
Yeah.
This is bag. You see here?
You know what I mean?
He's in his bag. Yeah.
I'm just being transparent.
Don't tell all the secrets, but give us some game.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So if you don't ask for that initial salary bump, chances are you're gonna be in that ballpark of a salary the entire remaining stay of your unless you get another position, of course.
I don't know about asking for a bump at first, but more so coming with a target salary in mind.
Yeah.
Based off your own research, right?
No,
Talking
but
about when
yeah,
you're getting a job.
true, yeah.
Because like
totally.
imagine like I'm thinking like if they're offering me a salary
Mhm.
and then I'm like, nah, I want it to be more.
Yeah,
I'd rather do that as I have my own number I'm coming to them with,
yeah.
and then they give me what they want,
100%.
like this person did.
Yeah, but
But I would take the offer to get.
chances are there's probably a review of the job. Like there's probably somebody who made a review for the position that he's in on Glassdoor or whatever other like website,
Mhm.
and they made a specific amount of money.
Mhm.
So he's like, I'll base it off of my experience and what that person made,
Yeah,
and this is how much I believe I deserve to make.
that's doing your research.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's typically what you should do going into any interview.
Mhm.
Do
But
your
if-
research about the salary.
If you don't have competing offers right now, though, and you're fighting over you're trying to negotiate that 6K to 3K, and this is the position, the only position you have right now.
Yeah.
You got to take this and try to up your skills again and move on to the next. That's what I
Power
picked up from you.
What?
You spend a year and a half there,
Yeah.
try to get as much as you can from the position and move on. Right now, you're without a job, and you're a married guy without a job right now.
Yeah.
You need to, if you have a competing offers, then you're in position to leverage that other offer and say, hey, like I have a backup offer just in case this doesn't go through.
Yeah.
But right now you're in a position where we don't know what the initial offer was, but we're assuming they upped the offer if they came back with 90K after you said 96. So you got to take what you can before.
I don't believe that. I don't
Yeah.
believe.
Well, they didn't give an initial salary. They just said we
Yeah.
discussed salary requirements. I
Yeah.
told them I was looking for 96K.
Mhm.
The hiring manager said they typically do their best to accommodate as much as possible.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
as
they
much
came
as
back with
possible.
90K.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, I don't think there was an initial number.
But he
that
wasn't in the wrong, fam. And to your point, you said take what you can. No, I think you take what you deserve. Like you always have to be able to vouch for yourself because no HR doesn't care about you, brother.
But
Like,
do you
always,
have a window?
yeah.
Do you have like a salary window, or do you have a direct salary that you're coming in with?
Like I always ballpark a random number, assuming that I'm gonna get it. But let's say they come back with less. I'll be like, hey, let's take this less, let's make it a little bit more. That's exactly what I would have done with this guy, you know? And I think it's a terrible business practice for them to be like, we're good, you know?
I
That
think
rarely
what he's
happens.
saying, yeah, I think what you're saying, it's real. It's more reality based in corporate structure because they want to save.
They'll just say no.
The thing is, the shit companies will be stingy with shit like that. But if they're a good company, they'll see the value in the person that's asking for the negotiation, and based off of their actual value, they'll give it to them majority of the time.
I understand that, but if you don't have a job right now.
Mm-hmm.
They came back with a certain number. You have to see what you can do with that number while thinking, yo, I'm moving on. It's just temporary. Because right now, he tried to pitch an offer. They came back with a much less amount.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's much less.
6K. That's
From 96 to 90.
But depending on like the way he looked at it right now, it was much less. That's why he came back with another one. He wouldn't have came back with another
Well, his wife.
amount, huh?
His wife.
Yeah, his wife.
We're blaming the wife
It was
here.
his
It's
wife.
all getting blamed.
It was his
We're not
wife.
blaming the wife.
Regardless, he came back with another amount,
Yeah.
and clearly he thought that was much less than if he came back with another amount.
Right.
Right now, you don't have a job. You got to take what you can.
I'll always negotiate, brother.
You can always negotiate, but you're in a position like this then, where the company, we don't know what the company's reputation is.
He's
It
saying
could be a good company or a bad company.
He's saying if they're not willing to give me that 6K, they're not a good company anyways.
Yeah.
But then right now you're on the job search. They have the leverage right now.
It's fine. Somebody else will come. There was
Well,
one
he has
time.
leverage on his resume.
God willing.
He has
Yeah.
leverage on his resume. That's why he's negotiating.
But if he had leverage on his resume, he would have options right now to weigh.
Well, that's not in.
Hey, I have a
That's not-
competing
that's
That's
offer
not.
right now.
That's not in his control.
Yeah.
Right now, so if you're
Who
HR
has multiple
experience,
job offers
If
and
they-
is still
if
looking for
someone-
jobs?
if someone says, "Yo, I have what's called a competing offer right now," they're willing to give me this amount. Are you?
Brother, this happened to me last year. Remember, I told you guys the story of there was a time where somebody offered X amount. They didn't respond to me in a long time. Fam, I messaged them on LinkedIn. I said, yo, fam, why you not responding to my emails? They were like,
He's
we
doing his
already offered the
research.
job to somebody else. I was like, all right, bet. You know what came? Something even better came, alhamdulillah. Like, you know what I mean? And it was at that point where
It's
it
not
was
the end of the world.
it was at the tail end of me leaving a company too. So I didn't have anything lined up up until a certain point, right?
But you still know your value.
I'm still going to ask for the amount that I deserve. Fam, there was a time I asked for an additional 10,000. They came back like, yo, we can give you one.
I'm
We can
looking
give
for-
you we can
that's what I'm looking
give
for
you
right
1K, fam. I was like, yo, say less. That's 1K I didn't have prior.
Yeah.
You know, like they will work within the budget. Because the budget is there. Some people don't know that you can ask for more that they actually give you, you know?
I get that, but I understand that there's point of leverage, and if you don't have a position right now, like I was without a job for a long time, and I would have taken any job that came up right now to try to bounce back and then look for a better position with higher pay.
Okay.
If right now at the point where we need to pay bills, so if you're not in a point where you could consistently pay your bills, and you're weighing on that, there's going to be something else that comes up in this moment.
Yeah.
You can either take this position and try to leverage, try to get something else, like a few months later.
Okay.
Or you're ass out. You're just
interesting.
Well, we don't know if this person is tight on money.
We're just assuming he's
They never mentioned
unemployed. Is unemployed, regardless if you have some savings or not. You need consistent cash flow.
Well, even still, like if somebody, let's say, like this guy's seeking a $90,000 job. Let's say since this is a pretty decent sized salary, I'm assuming that they got some severance or something like that beforehand from another job. I'm saying that they could be a little bit financially comfortable to the point where they can seek the job that best fits their value, as opposed to the desperation of bills are due and we need this, we need that, we need that. I feel like they would have mentioned that in the story, like.
Regardless, that's my first thought. Is, I got bills to pay, man. I'm not. I will try to go bounce back, try to go get something else, and try to retool. But right now, I have obligations. I have bills to pay. I have a wife. I need to get to it.
Okay.
No company will give you your value unless you go create it yourself, like we are at the Coffee Break Podcast.
Yo, this guy.
Hold the chair on this guy. Closing thoughts. I think naturally, I think you should play the field based off of the value you have. I think your circumstances really matter too. If you're in a position where you're desperate, then you should take what you can get. But if you're not, if you have some kind of leverage or some kind of comfortable standing, then yeah, you should negotiate your true value in the market, corporate market.
What he said.
Not in the streets. Don't do that in the streets. You will die.
Verbatim what he said. I don't even have to say anymore.
My corporate experience is much less than yours in that circumstance. I've just think that, I got bills to pay. I'm going to take this position right now. However, I'm going to see how long the contract goes for. If it's for a year, use that year to retool and try to see if I can get even better paying position or get some options going. And then I have an opportunity to leverage different options and see what I can do and then play the field. But if there's no field and there's just one position, then it depends on how you see the circumstance.
Fair point. I guess we'll leave it at that. All right. Give us some comments. We want to hear your feedback. Let us know. What do you think? What would you do if you were this person? Without further ado, guys, we're back. It's some relationship advice this time. They're asking us for our opinions. Can you believe that?
100%.
Wow.
Look at me, bro.
Judging my line?
Yeah. All good.
Okay. My twin and I are fraternal twins. Recently, we took a genetic test for fun because we wanted to see what we shared and the differences between us. Since we still share genes, fraternal twins are like siblings genetically. My grandparents had also suggested the test and got them for us, so our parents didn't know about it. But our results made no sense. My twins was coming up with almost completely as Eastern European and Western European, which makes sense as most of the family is Croatian, German, and Austrian. So all of that would be accurate. But mine wasn't saying anything like that. I was almost completely Scandinavian with some Russian and a couple other places, neither of which were on my twin's result. She had a very small percentage of Scandinavian, but that was it. We had no matched DNA, which clearly seemed impossible. We're literally twins. We have to share the DNA. My twin said that they must have mixed up my sample with someone else's because this doesn't make sense. We ended up contacting the company and my twin and I took the test again. It was the same result. Both my twin and I were really confused. We told our grandparents that, and they said that was interesting and said nothing else. My twin said we should tell our parents and see if they've ever done a genetic test, or if any of our siblings had, or if we could see if somehow ours was still right. I mean, it kind of made sense that I'd have some Scandinavian because I'm much taller than my mother and quite a bit taller than my twin, and I'm way better at football and handball than she is.
There's a little bit of African in there, fam.
She got some Mbappe there still, not gonna lie. When we told our mother, they reacted the same. They reacted almost the same as my grandparents did, but seemed annoyed. And said that they're inaccurate anyways, and our grandparents shouldn't have taken the test for us. When we asked our father, he basically said nothing. I'm confused. I know my twin thinks it's just a mistake, but I don't think so. We have to share DNA, about 50%. That's how twins and siblings work. Even though we're fraternal, we still should share quite a bit of DNA, but other explanations don't make sense.
Mhm.
My mother can't have cheated on my father because my twin and I would still share the same DNA, just less, because we would have different fathers. The results mean we can't share a parent or even be related, but I don't see why my parents would adopt me if I'm not their child, when I don't think they've ever been to any Scandinavian country, and why they'd adopt a baby that's almost exactly the same age as their baby. I'm panicking. The person I'm closest with in the world, who I thought I even shared the womb with, might not even be related to me at this point. My birthday might not even be real.
Facts.
None of this makes sense anymore, and no one is telling me the truth. I'm also scared that my twin might tell her boyfriend about it, and then people might end up knowing that I'm some kind of a fraud and that my family isn't a family at all.
Mhm.
Please, Reddit, tell me what I should do here.
That's wild.
What a journey.
Scandinavians, Germanic descent, right?
I
don't know.
I think that's like, what are the Scandinavian countries?
But she said Dutch for her twin, right?
Region of Europe.
Fam, all we gotta know is they're not related. Why do you have to go
Denmark,
into the depth of it?
Norway, Sweden, Finland. These are the northern countries, or the northern countries of Europe, as opposed to the east and the west.
Gotcha.
So
Just wanted to get some education, get some learning.
I got
it's a
you.
mystery.
What you get from the Coffee Break podcast?
So is he asking what she should do?
Yeah.
That's crazy though, because
He said, what should my next steps be when no one in my family is telling me anything?
it kind of sounds like there's a possibility where she was kind of kidnapped. You know,
Okay. Interesting.
because nobody's talking to her about her whereabouts.
Yeah.
Clearly, they did it twice. Because maybe if it happened once, it would have been a mistake. It happened twice.
Mhm.
You know, so it has to be 100% true that they're not related.
Right.
You know, so for her parents, was it her grandparents too that were kind of like, oh, I don't know anything about this?
They did the test. The grandparents were okay with doing the test, the
Okay.
genetic test, but they didn't share the reasons why they were separate results.
So you think the grandparents know?
I
They
think
have to be in on it.
Why would they do that if they knew about the situation
They're
at first?
slow.
then?
they were trying to leave breadcrumbs and saying, "Yo, like you guys should know the truth."
Or they have
That's why they're
Alzheimer's.
being coy. As soon as they found out and said, "Yo, what's going on?"
Yeah.
They're being coy about it. They didn't seem shocked, but they didn't provide any
They dismissed it.
information. Yeah, so
Yeah.
they
You
basically
think
said,
they gave them the avenue to find out more about themselves?
exactly.
Why
So
not just tell them
basically
then?
Go,
Yeah.
Why not just tell them?
Because they probably feel like I would feel, yo, even though I wouldn't do that, they probably feel it's you guys should know. Go ask your parents.
Then why didn't they just say that in the first place? Why
I
give
guess
them
they
the
wanted
test?
proof. Like imagine somebody just told you right now, you're not your parents' kid.
Okay.
There's gonna be a little bit of doubt, you know,
Yeah.
like be like, who the hell are you to say that? Why
Right.
are you even saying that? But if there's proof that the DNA shows otherwise, chances are you'd believe that over me saying it, right?
Yeah.
So I think they wanted a little bit more evidence when they found out the truth.
You
Compared
think the grandparents didn't know either?
I think the grandparents knew, but think if they were to just say it flat out, there's a little bit of
There's no truth to it?
yeah, there could be truth, but there's a little bit of you could be lying to me, you know?
But why
Compared
would
to
they
if I was to have a whole test dedicated to the whole purpose of what I'm saying, chances are you believe me more.
want them to know that?
Why would they? Maybe to the point they're leaving crumbs for them to find out who they actually are, you know?
And instead of just
Detective shit, figure it out.
yeah, instead of just outright saying it, they
Yeah.
gave them the opportunity to be excited about it, go in like open minded
Mhm.
without anything weighing on their mind, and see for themselves, and then go back to the parents instead of just saying, "Hey, this is what the case is."
Yeah.
They something would have came out in the house.
Yeah,
with the
I would think some type of way if my parents didn't tell me. One, if they didn't tell me, and two, the way they reacted.
Mm-hmm.
Because it kind of looks like I was stolen at
Yeah.
that point.
Could be.
And they don't want people to know.
I don't.
I read a story one time where a girl found out halfway that her
Or you could have been saved.
that too.
Yeah.
But chances are you if you're somebody who would save a kid, you'd also be open enough to tell them when they understood that they're not yours, you know?
That's true.
You know, like if you're a good enough person to save a child, you're a good enough person to tell them.
But
At
like
one
depending on the circumstances that the person was saved from,
Mhm.
like it might be tough to.
But that's
say
not
to
your
somebody.
choice to make. Let me know that my parents were bad, and I'll decide if I ever want to.
Well, this person's 18, right? So
Yeah.
they're just now entering adulthood. I
Mhm.
feel like now is probably it's all coincidental that they're looking for their identity and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it would be a good time to tell the parents to tell the child.
But they didn't.
Remember?
Yeah.
You remember Smart Guy?
Yeah, I do.
Remember when Mo found out he was adopted?
Yeah, I
I
remember.
don't remember that.
You guys remember that,
Yeah.
right? And he went all this whole avenue of trying to find his parents,
His mom didn't care.
and his mom did not care. She
Really?
basically said, "You have 5 minutes for you. You got to get out after that."
Yeah.
Damn.
That's to sum up her reaction and her manner and everything like that. Then he was like angry at his adopted parents, saying, "You guys should have told me. I don't know who I am anymore," and all this other stuff, and started living in the garage of the smart guy's family.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then at the end of the episode, he realized, yo, you guys did the best.
They were
greatest thing
protecting
for
me and
Yeah.
like, yeah. So there could be some reasons to it. I think that this person should ask the grandparents more because they seem like they're more open to giving the right information. I feel
Yeah.
like the parents just shutting it down dead means that they might not be okay with talking about it yet, or might not be open to discussing that yet. But the grandparents they're giving clues, like you're saying. Probe.
Mhm.
I would
Yeah,
say
my
probe.
parents sound like criminals at that point.
It could be, but they could be heroes at the same time. You know, like it's one of the two. Like
Yeah,
two
but if
sides
you're
of
a
the
hero,
coin.
you're more likely to share the heroism with the like.
But sometimes the gravity of what you save the person from is like we can't. I don't even want to think about.
But that's not your choice to make. Let me decide if it's too crazy.
But an 18-year-old kid,
18 is fine. Like you can share with them information and hope for them to
graphic information.
just give them the bare minimum. Be like, yo, at the end of the day, I'm not your mom and dad. That's all you gotta say. And be like,
I don't know.
these are your
tough saying
parents,
that.
and I don't feel comfortable. They gave them to me. Like I'm just creating a random story. Your parents gave me you when you were younger because they couldn't trust that they could raise a kid on their own. So I took the task on raising you, and I didn't want to share with you until you were a certain age because they come from a certain background that I didn't want you to be affiliated with.
Right.
If they were to be like that 18, I'll be like, I'll probably be a little hurt, but I'll be like, all right, I feel you. You took care of me. But if for them to just be like, how'd you find out, fam? You know?
You're like, yeah, about that.
Yeah, 20 years ago, something happened. Like, what the hell? Like, share with me. I'm not, like, 18, you understand life. Not perfectly, but you understand it well enough to make your own inferences and to come up with your own conclusions, you know?
Mhm.
They're not giving her, the girl, right?
Mhm.
The ability to find out. That's what I think she should, to your point, I think she should go to the grandparents.
Yeah.
And be like, well, go on, tell me more.
Be like, yo, my mom and dad are not saying shit. Yo, break it down for me right now. Break it down, the whole story.
They had if they were gonna say something, they had the opportunity.
No, I'm saying she should corner them and pressure them to say, yo, break it down for me. I'm not leaving here till I find out. Where am I from?
I feel like they probably felt, yo, this is not our place to completely have this conversation.
Right.
But this is you should have the avenue to go figure shit out.
No, they opened the door.
They opened the door, but they wouldn't. They're not starting the car.
They gave the parents the opportunity to fess up.
And they didn't.
So now I'm going back to the source.
Yeah, I'm going back to if I'm the girl, I'm going back to my grandparents saying, all right, those niggas didn't say shit.
Yeah,
What's
tell
going
me
on here?
what's happening. They're more likely to be like, yo, this is what actually happened compared to before, you know?
They're not going to say, go ask your parents again.
Yeah.
They may create a circumstance where everyone sits down as a family.
Yeah. I just think that there's also a scenario in which where this information may be kind of harmful and that they're trying to protect the child from it. But you're right. They deserve to know. They deserve to know at least that they're not in the family, like biologically.
Because they're still my parents.
But that's also going to lead to like, you know, like not assumption, but that's going to lead to curiosity of where this person is actually from. That could lead to somewhere else.
I deserve to have that right to know where I come from.
Maybe not yet.
At 18?
Maybe not at 18.
I deserve to. What, are you going to tell me at 30?
20.
Oh,
21.
2 years makes a
21.
difference? 3 years?
Yeah. That makes a huge difference.
I don't think it makes a difference, to be honest.
I think it makes a huge difference. I think it's just too early.
Okay.
I'm not saying that they shouldn't tell them. But at the same time, too, I'm like, I can see why if the circumstances were like severe, I could see a reality in where the parents would be kind of like.
Let me ask you.
Okay.
Let me ask you something. Both of you, actually. Let's say I was a terrible person and I had a kid and I gave both of you my kid. Okay.
Well, I'm not trying to be a couple here.
Okay. Let's say individually. Let's
fuck, man.
Let's say in each scenario I had 2 kids. I gave one of you guys my kid. Okay. And let's say I'm not fit to be a parent. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you are, and you take on the role of parenthood for me.
Right.
At what age do you think you should tell them about me? Because let's say I'm off the map. I'm off the grid.
That's a tough question, man.
Would you ever share with them that you're not the real father?
I would.
What would you say?
I'd say I'm not your
At what
biological-
age?
I don't know, man.
Because right now you
25.
said 21. 25. Damn.
I don't know, man. I say 21 because that's like a ballpark number where I feel like somebody could, like they're just getting involved as being an adult in society. They're understanding things. But sometimes people are immature for their age. Sometimes people are more mature at a younger age. Like it depends on where they are, really.
Does it change if I sober up, if I become a better person?
Well, if
like,
you were just an alcoholic,
You
then
said off the map, though.
that's
Are
different.
you
Yeah, let's
sure
say
you're
I
off the
come
map?
back in the picture and I went through whatever and I'm better as a human being. Would that change like the timeline of when you share them about me?
No.
So even if I sober up and become a better human being, you still wouldn't
If I had
tell
to
them
take
about
that child away from you because you were you weren't able to raise them properly, then
you wouldn't give them back?
no, they're not going
Give
back to
them
you.
back. What?
Be
They're
like,
not
give me
going
back
back.
Do I?
parental.
Not
Am
going
I
back.
choosing still the age that we do this, or are you choosing the age right now that you're coming back?
No, I just threw in another random scenario. Let's say I sober up and I become a better human being.
That
So
doesn't
it's
change
still
anything.
at
That doesn't
age I
change the
chose?
timeline. Pardon?
Still at the age I chose?
Yeah.
Or-
Still, would that
At
25
25,
come
yeah, I
down
would
to
tell
20,
them
come
that-
down to 19?
No, I would still tell whatever that is, as long as it's early to mid 20s.
Mhm.
I would give them the opportunity.
Yeah,
to see
never.
what
I'm
the-
never gonna hold on to that information forever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, I'm gonna guard that information as best as I can till they're able to understand.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Because
Okay.
now you're the reason I chose 25. You're self sufficient. If some people with 25, they're living in their own cribs.
Mhm.
They're able to. They're not rely on anybody. So in the case that you come back in the picture, and however messed up or however good you are, that child's not relying on me or
It's
you.
not a child. Yeah, it's grown up.
They're our child.
Yeah, I'm saying at that point that at 25 they'll be mature enough to at
They're an
least
adult, so
take
they
care-
can rely on themselves.
Right.
Okay.
And choose the type of relationship they want with you, instead
point.
of having to rely on someone.
So are
and
you
have-
scared that they wouldn't see you as a father
No,
anymore?
that wouldn't.
Like, why does 25 have to happen? That's my question. Why is it all the way at 25?
Because just in case that the parent that's messing up chooses and says, "I want my child back."
Yeah.
How can they want their child back at 24, 23?
Yeah.
Exactly. They wouldn't. I just chose 25, just the adult. They wouldn't. There's no way that you whatever mess up that as an adult that the person has,
Mhm.
that wouldn't affect the adult that is now the child.
Okay. Okay.
So they don't rely on whatever your shortcomings.
Mhm.
So you can have a relationship, the good side, the bad side as the shortcomings of a parent. It could be friendship now.
Yeah.
So you're saying when they become an adult?
Yes,
Friendship.
that's why I said 25.
Okay. That's
I agree with you guys,
I agree.
but I just think
agree
it's a
with that.
little too late,
I don't
think
know.
like that 18 to 20 is perfect. For
18 to 20, you're still relying on the parent, though.
Yeah, but
So now that
they can
parent,
still rely on me. I can still share with them the truth.
flip the situation to you.
Okay.
18 years old, the older parent comes back in the picture. What do you do?
What do you mean? Like, I find out through my actual parent that that's not my real parents?
Yeah, but you like the scenario that you put, that
What?
that parent that gave up the child has
Yeah.
come back now.
Yeah.
They're a bit sober, and
No,
they
they-
want back
yeah.
into the child's life at 18 years old.
Well, as a parent, at 18, I don't really hold any responsibility. Like, what I'm trying to say is they could do whatever the hell they want. They're 18, they're an adult. They can make their own decisions, technically, So at that
I
point,
disagree.
you don't control an 18-year-old.
Legally, but they're still immature.
No, but they can literally leave the house and be like, I'm out.
Legally, yeah.
Yeah,
But they're not mature enough to make certain decisions yet, in my opinion.
but they can.
Legally, they can.
It's
I'm
different.
talking morally.
It's different because 17, you have hack over them. 18, you technically you do, but they're at the point where they can really make their own decisions. Like, let's say if they want, if the father actually came, they can go live with that person without
He's
your.
talking about legally. You're talking about
Yeah, I'm talking morally.
Yeah, but
not legally, though.
true. But I'm saying, like, if it was me and somebody came in the picture and I found out through my actual parent that those people are not my parents, I'll feel hurt. Like, why are you telling me?
Yeah.
Why am I finding out through a source that I never even knew?
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't snake my actual parents and be
Mhm.
like, I'm out.
Mhm.
But I'll be hurt if I found out through
Somebody else.
X person
Yeah.
instead of the person who should be,
Right.
Mhm.
So, I would want to know as early as possible, like 18.
See, that's the difficult thing.
But you're assuming I wouldn't be able to internalize that.
No, but in case, if given the opportunity, if it forces the situation like the situation you gave,
Yeah.
where the parent comes back, then that forces you to provide that information earlier. Later, if that person, we don't know how the child's going to react at whatever age. So you're right. Some are mature that they're able to process the information and move forward in a mature manner. Some will start going through an identity crisis, like Mo did in Smart Guy, where he's just looking for his parents and has to process it outside and away from you, and says, "Yeah, I can't be in this household." So it depends. So the older they are, the more sufficient they are, that they're not relying on me as much, the less likely they crash out and do some stupid go drive to another state and try to go figure that out, try to go look for the parents.
But you don't think, fam, that's a fault on your parenting if you don't think your child deserves to that would act out on information?
But
Like you never built them or raised them to kind of internalize their thoughts and emotions like that. You don't think that's your fault?
do you I honestly believe?
What?
Right now, you and like me and my siblings, you and your siblings,
Yeah.
you guys not all the same people.
Sure.
We don't all react to the same with information. I may be more of a calm presence. You may be more erratic.
Okay.
We were raised in the same household, but at a younger age. Right now, we're in the 20s. We may be more calm.
Okay.
At a younger age, regardless of the environment we were raised in, some people are more mellow. Some people are more erratic with how they deal with emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So, regardless, the parents have built a stable environment. It will not stop that person's emotions from going wherever they will.
Okay. But you don't think as a parent, raising somebody for 18 years, you don't know how to share information with them without acting out?
The last, I know it's a different video, but the last argument we had was a father saying what he said to the child and the child reacting a certain way, and the father coming back to the mother and saying, "This is what the child said to me." You know how to react to your parents.
That's different though. That came out of a frustration. If I was to come to you, it wouldn't be, if I'm telling you about your real parents, it would come from a place of kindness and be like, yo, this actually happened.
But
it's not a place where, yo, get the hell out of my car type of thing, you know?
No, I'm accepting the information, but me processing it may take me in a variety of ways.
I feel like your maturity level has to be,
exactly.
high.
18 may
has
not
to
be that.
Yeah, 18 might be a little bit too immature to fully process that information the way you would want them to. And it's not on your parenting. It's just on where the person is in their life at that point. They could be mature enough to process that at 16. You just don't know. It's just, I think that naturally, generally, 18 is just young to have a lot of serious life-changing information given to you like that, right? And I feel like what you're saying, I kind of coincide with what Mukhtar's saying, is like when they're an adult, they're at least self-sufficient enough to take on that scenario any way they want because they have the wherewithal to take care of themselves, as opposed to like leaving my crib or like something drastic, something drastic I can avoid. I'd rather just, hold it till they can fully understand that.
And we as adults right now, half of our life was outside and half of our life was inside the house. The parents are raising their children, yes, but the environment's raising them as well. So whoever's outside, let's say whoever they confide in, what can feed that ego, can feed that emotion. And they can partially be at fault of what they say to that person. Oh, this is how I would react. Oh, this is like 4 different people telling you an opinion may set you a different way.
I don't agree. Yeah, 50. I don't get me wrong. Like I grow as a human being outside of my home, but the moral compass comes from the home. That's what I believe.
We're putting this on. We're not. This is not you.
But I'm giving you an example of when I would tell my kid. So I'm telling how would she move forward with this, right? You know what I mean? Like if this was me and my child was adopted, I would hope that the way I raised them enough, they're able to internalize information using the tools that I provided them growing up.
Yeah.
Telling them this isn't something that just comes randomly. We would obviously have had talks. This is not our first serious conversation. Like you guys are assuming that out of the 18 years, this is the first time you gave them any serious topics.
That's the story though. They're saying they're getting a genetic test.
But the point I'm making is, at the end of the day, I think what she should do is get more in depth as to where she came from, right? But we're bouncing this off to the scenario that
You're
came
saying what
from
could be the
earlier.
reason why the parents would withhold this information? That's pretty much the question here.
They're terrible people, probably. You know,
I
or
think
they're criminals.
differently. I think it's more so they're trying to, depending on what the situation could be with the actual biological parents, they could be there's a scenario or there's a reality where the parents could be doing the child a favor by not giving them this information right
Let me
now.
know that though.
But you're right. They at this point they pretty much deserve to know since they've been doing all this legwork and research and shit. So I agree. At the same time, too, I think there's also to note there can be shitty people out there, and you don't want your child to, you don't want your child to pursue any like real negative life aspects. Like let's say, just hypothetically, let's say that the biological parent just got out of jail, and is now like rehabilitated or something like that. Just even like the concept of prison and rehabilitation is very early for a 18-year-old child to comprehend. They could just really just see it as this is my actual father. Let me go and, connect with them. And they could just be getting themselves in a world of crime. You never know. There's just so much avenues you can possibly take that the parents could potentially, and this is all just hypothetical, could potentially be saving the child from. So I don't know. I feel like I'd get to those grandparents, man.
Get their
grab him by the shirt, yo. Against the wall, like, yo.
He grabbed him by the shirt.
One here. Be like, yo.
To old people, like.
Yeah, to old people.
You pieces.
Yeah. Kick their canes.
Okay, so you think she should do that, right?
Yeah, I think she should press her grandparents.
No, I think I don't know if pressing the grandparents would get them there because they had the opportunity to tell from the beginning.
Right.
I'd just say sit down with all the siblings, let them know this is what the situation is, saying that this is what I found out. We deserve to have some further information because this is, for me, I don't know how many other siblings there are, but this can be the circumstance for you guys too. So we should try to either speak to them as a group, because that may be, they can brush off one person.
Yeah.
They can't brush off like 3, 4.
Interesting. Okay.
So if we're all sitting down and saying, yo, this is what we found out, we want some additional information, I don't believe they can brush them off. So take that avenue, and the rest of the siblings, if you want to go get some blood work first to see what your DNA says.
The twin was related to them though.
No, but they said siblings. They have other siblings.
Okay.
So
I see what you're saying. Get united as a front with siblings, and then seek the information
this
together.
Is the environment that we. Otherwise, we're all going to be upset if we don't want to. If you guys don't want to provide us the information, because you're leaving a gap right now in our knowledge.
Okay, and I agree with you guys.
We want to hear what you know, though. Tell us what you think. Give us some feedback. Is this person? Are they pursuing the right thing? Are they not? You tell us. We'll be back next week with another episode of the Coffee Break Podcast. These are your boy.
Sorry.
All right, I'm done.
Yo, my man. Yo.